Why is colored person racist but person of color isn't? I think it's context. During segregation in the U.S., black people were referred to as colored. No coloreds allowed, etc. It's just really dated and antiquated and has bad associations. It's the equivalent of calling a modern black person Negro. Very dated. POC puts the person first, but I rarely use that term and just refer to myself as black. It's person first language that refocuses a term on the person and not the attribute. In my line of work, we're careful to say patient with HIV instead of HIV plus patient. What's weird about that term is that I'm from a country that has black and colored people. They are two different races. Euphemisms are filters that get clogged with the toxins they're supposed to block out and must eventually be discarded for new ones. Because racists said colored people as a derogatory term and not people of color. If they did, it would have been the other way around. Euphemism treadmill. Almost none of the words we used in the past are inherently bad. The bad part comes with the emotion when you use a word. Or the context. Changing the word doesn't change how it will be used or the context in which it will be used. That new word can then just be used in the same way. The euphemism treadmill. Colored referred to exclusively black people. I'm an older dude and my deceased grandmother called my junior high teammates talented little colored boys after a basketball game, but pointed out the Mexican and Korean kid as Mexican and Oriental. I think in today's vernacular, POC means all but white. I'm probably incorrect, but it's a half-ass informed guess. In the UK, using people of color is racist because it separates them as a group from the word people. In our census and whatnot, Black British is used, or black, for non-citizens. If, for some odd reason, you were going to refer to the classification in speech, you would just use black. It's a phenomenon called the euphemism treadmill. Innocent words and phrases acquire negative connotations over time, and are replaced with new synonyms that eventually acquire the same negative connotations. A little context. Historical: the term colored person wasn't used. They were just colored, or Negroes, or worse, as I'm sure you know. And it was really used as a pejorative. The modern use of person, people of color, is a form of person-first language designed to avoid dehumanizing the person when describing them based on some trait. People-first speaking. A person who is black. Not a black person. A person with a disability. Not a disabled person. A person with an amputation. Not an amputee. A person who is gay. Not a gay person. A person of color. Not a colored person. It's a way to ensure you aren't reducing others to a single part of their existence. They are a person no matter what. Some people get huffy about it because they don't like being told what to do. But what's the harm in treating someone like a person first? In the UK, people have adopted the term people of color, but some say it's still offensive. We mainly say people from minority ethnic backgrounds, which is sometimes a bit of a mouthful, but it gets the point across accurately, inclusively, and without offending anybody, so hey, it works. It's not. The authoritarian left and race hustlers manipulate the language to serve their means. This is the best example of the silliness of this garbage. Reverse the order of how you say the same two words and you can be cast out of society and shunned. GTFO with that nonsense. The short answer is that descriptive language can often go through pejoration. Here's some sources that give example. https www.thoughtco.com/pejoration wordmeanings 1691601 https en.wikipedia.org/wiki/pejorative #pejoration and melioration. It is important to know that words, syntax and language evolve over time. There is not right way, objectively speaking, because common vernacular dictates meaning, and that changes often. In my life, I have watched Negro, which is merely Spanish for black, from the Latin for black, which is the basis for the N-word. I saw that be replaced by colored. I saw that replaced by African American. All of those received pejoration. Which black, which has always been there, is the most consistently used in common vernacular. With the rise of intersectional politics came the return of the semantic use of colored people in the form of people of color, POC. This is meant to broaden the definition into an intersectional collation of black, brown, and any other designation as non-white. This is mostly done to create a social class. I think most people that would be referred to as POC actually do not subscribe to these socio-political nomenclatures. It may even be that POC is pejorating at this time. As to what will become of it all, I cannot say. This too will evolve. It's a way to virtue signal. If you are keeping up with the latest PC language, you're a good person, and can show that you care. If you use the PC language from 15 minutes ago, you are a racist piece of garbage and you need to rethink your life and all your choices. In truth, there is no difference, but people will find a way to be mad about anything. There's racist historical baggage to colored in the U.S. It was the term used in the South during segregation. POC avoids the baggage while meaning the same thing and also centering the emphasis on the person first. The reason I usually hear is, it puts the person first. But I think it's an arbitrary distinction. It conveys literally the same idea, and the idea that it puts the person first instead of their race is kind of ridiculous. Because the only reason you'd say it is to specifically let me know you're speaking about someone who isn't white, which is exactly the same as saying colored person. So it's racially charged and puts the race first no matter how you split it. Colored person was a relatively acceptable term at one time. However, it was considered a polite way of saying black after Negro had fallen out of favor, because it was just a bit too close to another far worse term. Person of color came about as a way to describe any non-white person, so it is more inclusive. America is really particular about phrasing, far more than the actual meaning.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.